Yo, what's cracking everyone? Ericship 111 here. So back in late September of 2025 at the Tokyo Game Show, Xbox revealed Forza Horizon 6, which will finally be set in the most highly requested location of Japan. Now unfortunately, we didn't get any gameplay. All we got was a teaser trailer, including an additional reaction video where I was fortunate enough to be contacted by Turn 10 and Playground Games to be a part of before the official reveal, as well as a couple of written sit-down interviews with Playground Games art director for some additional information. Apart from that, other important things we know is that Forza Horizon 6 will launch next year in 2026, but that's pretty much it. Now keep in mind that that was way back in September. We are now almost in December and we have yet to see any more information about the upcoming title, which has certainly calmed down a lot of the initial hype. Of course, we already know why this is the case, and that's because in one of the recent written interviews from Xbox themselves, Playground Games did confirm that they will be revealing more of Forza Horizon 6 early next year. But here is where things get a little interesting. An industry insider known as Nate the Hate 2 was asked if the release date for Horizon 6 would change now that Grand Theft Auto 6 has been delayed until November of 2026, in which he responded by saying, and I quote, "First half 2026 has been the target and remains as such." Now, I did a bit of research on Nate the Hate 2 to see just how credible he is as an industry insider, as there are some who are and genuinely want to give everyone the scoop, or those who aren't and simply just want clicks. And based on what I was able to gather, he seemed to be very credible when it comes to big mainstream titles. Hence why many news outlets, including AR12 Gaming, have posted this on their own account over on X. But regardless of how right this insider has been in the past, there's still a chance he could be completely wrong. So, based on all of the information we know about Forza Horizon 6 thus far, the landscape for upcoming titles in 2026, as well as how Playground Games have promoted their upcoming Horizon titles in the past, let's find out if the first half of 2026 really is a possibility, as it would be the first in its entire series. So, the first thing we have to consider is that Playground Games did state that they will be revealing more information about Forza Horizon 6 early next year. Now, I would imagine for their first proper reveal trailer, which would include actual in-game footage, Playground Games will not release this randomly on their YouTube channel or just post up a blog over on their official Forza website. They would actually want to do this at a proper live streaming event, and usually every year in January, Xbox holds a Developers Direct, an event held specifically for first-party Xbox developers to showcase their upcoming titles in more detail. Back in 2023, Turn 10 participated, revealing more of Forza Motorsport, where the infamous quote of "built from the ground up" was born. But for Playground Games and Forza Horizon 6, although the next Developers Direct has yet to be officially announced for 2026, I strongly believe that if or when Xbox does announce it, that's when we'll see a lot more of the upcoming Horizon title. For those who remember when Forza Horizon 5 was first announced back at E3 in June of 2021, from that moment onwards, Playground Games kicked off their Let's Go livestream series, dropping a new episode roughly every 2 weeks, revealing more of Horizon 5, all gradually building excitement right up until the game's full launch in November. It was consistent, it was well paced, and it kept the community engaged for months without ever oversharing or burning out the hype. So if Playground Games were to follow a similar pattern for Horizon 6, then things could potentially start to line up pretty clearly. If we assume next year's Xbox Developers Direct is where we will finally get to see our first proper trailer with real in-game footage, this would then give Playground Games roughly around 5 months to build off from that excitement, just like they did with Forza Horizon 5. 8 to 9 livestream episodes, one every 2 weeks, each revealing a new element of the game, all leading up into the launch window sometime during the first half of 2026. Honestly, that doesn't just sound possible, it sounds realistic. Now, I know there's some of you watching that are of the opinion that no, things won't change. Playground Games will still release Horizon 6 sometime from September through to November, just like they have done in the past. And look, I get it, much like what I'm doing right now, you're looking at past patterns. However, there are also many other factors to include this time round. The most obvious is Grand Theft Auto 6, now delayed until November of 2026. If Playground Games didn't initially have internal plans on releasing the title around November, as according to the leaker, it was always scheduled for the first half of 2026, then they certainly won't now. As big of a game is as Forza Horizon 6, there's just no comparison to Rockstar's juggernaut, even if the two titles aren't direct competitors from one another. Another factor is the current state of Forza Horizon 5 and the PC and Xbox player base. For many who have played this title from launch, including myself, there really isn't much left to do other than going for 100% completion. We've played this title for 4 years already, and Playground Games have completely stopped introducing new content for almost a year now. All of the repeated playlists in the game are really for those on PlayStation 5 who have still yet to discover what this title still has to offer. So, to keep Xbox and PC players happy, I believe Microsoft does want to push for an earlier Horizon 6 release window without having to make them wait for almost another year. Then there's also the marketing. If Playground Games has confirmed to reveal more of Forza Horizon 6 early next year, should the game release in November, there will be periods of time where the hype for Horizon 6 dies down. A bit like what's happening right now, and for arguably Xbox's biggest and most popular IP currently, it's probably best to keep the momentum going. I mean, look at other huge Xbox titles like Fable and Gears of War E-Day, all touted for a 2026 release. We haven't seen much and would still be as excited if they reveal more, given how long of a silence those titles have had. I don't know, so again, first half of 2026 sounds very sensible. Now, when it comes to the PlayStation 5 release date, all we know is that it will be on the platform sometime post-launch, which obviously could mean anywhere from 2026 to even 2029. But if I had to make somewhat of an educated guess, it would either be sometime during the second half of 2026 or around a year after the Xbox and PC launch. That way, players on the PS5 can still currently enjoy Forza Horizon 5 without feeling like they have to move on to the next title already, and it could also incentivize more Game Pass or hardware sales for Xbox. That's just my opinion on the PS5 release window, but Forza Horizon 6 releasing in the first half of next year for Xbox and PC sounds very possible at this moment, and I hope for us Horizon players who have been on Horizon 5 since day one, the earlier the better. We've waited over 4 years for a new Horizon game and a decade for the series to visit Japan. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. Do you think Forza Horizon 6 will release in the first half of next year? Share us your thoughts down in the comment section below, as I do read all of your comments, guys. And anyways, if you guys did enjoy today's video, please make sure to smash the thumbs up button, as it really does help me out. And of course, if you guys would like to stay up to date with everything Forza Horizon 6 related, be sure to subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.